Who's going to end up in first place at the end of week 1 for PCS2 APAC? It's Erangel. It's the final game. It's around the corner right now.
Yeah, that's right. It's incredibly hard to hold a lead, especially with all the pressure of all these top teams just biting at your ankles constantly. They're scraping points together. You can't afford to make mistakes. This is a 24-game format, but every single mistake you make, every other team can capitalize on.
Final game of the night. As I mentioned, Divine with a 7-point lead over Fury, 11 points over Day Trade, 12 points over Battle Arena Elites, and then it starts to stretch a little bit more, 19 points over 5th place Buriram United, who have, of course, just freshly come off their chicken dinner, their first one of the tournament so far. The only team that has picked up multiple wins at the moment for PCS2 APAC is, of course, Divine, who won 2 in a row, for that matter, making it almost 3 with a 2nd place that we saw earlier this evening. Pretty decent playing path. It's okay. Could be better, could be worse. Not the end of the world for the majority of teams. As we look at the total points, though, for Erangel, it's still the Bay show. They picked up 7 points in the previous game, but of course, nothing like the 40 they got last night in the 2 games. So, obviously, we kind of expected them to slow down Edge on Erangel. No surprise. It happened, but still 7 points. Not bad.
Yeah, that's right. And they're keeping themselves in it. Yeah, there's not that much of a margin between the top 4 or 5 teams. So, every point you gain here is definitely one you need to 100% confirm. And that's what we see most of our teams doing, as we have a nice little central circle here. But if this does go east, they're going to be trying to probably make a breach, as we do see Ronan actually picking up a kill onto Long K, getting knocked out by Sapao, but he does have his team very close by to potentially trade this out. But they should definitely look at grouping, because there's a high chance that they just get breached here. And there's a lot of cards coming right now, so Sophia is doing exactly that.
Zoid's going to go down early too from the future. Orcarin picking up that elimination. Carbs, a bit of an explosion. I don't know what just happened to that dance here, but it almost ran into an invisible wall. Subang with an 8 underarm throw. Miao Yu is going to be very low. Back 10 throws 1 inside of the building. This should get a knockdown or 2. Haisaki from the outside, and there is the 2 knockdowns from Noctan. Like I mentioned, he should be able to get Molotov in from Jaken as well, sitting inside of the bathroom. Ghoul trying to just get off that heel. Has Basil for help from the outside, so he can't just give up on this fight. Basil's done really well to sort of help out, get a few knockdowns. Miao Yu still down. X Stadium. Inside of the Molotov is Noctan, and he's going to be down as well. Ghoul is pretty much full health too. They have just almost thrown this one. If Ghoul has a nade, underarms it outside, make sure he doesn't hit the barred windows. I mean, that's not it. That's not going to really do much when you just throw it straight into the vehicle, and he's not going to achieve anything. Flood with a knockdown to Tonke, who's going to be eliminated by Flood, helping out Killer of Archangel Predator. And Cowl's going to be breached as well. MSC Theraton have just come in to Fury's compound. It's a pretty large one as well, so kind of difficult if Cow's building specifically does get breached. Not easy for then the others to help out. And well, the last minute has just been beyond chaotic. Finally, Ghoul is going to be breached, but it's Jaken who loses out this exchange. Can he get another one who pushes into the bottom as well? Yes, he can. He gets a second. Looking for a third. Quick reload. Can't get the headshot. Basil's not there. Finally, X Stadium will deal with the Ghoul in the bathroom.
What an absolutely chaos circle shift.
Really, the only thing I can think of is either Sophia's compound, or they find an open area that blocks a lot of sight lines thanks to the ridges. And I don't know, Sophia putting on shots early, gets the reward, knockdown onto Jukesy. Fury are not going to be finishing off the night in a strong manner, unfortunately for them. Fortunately, though, they've been pretty good every other game, but down to 2 players remaining.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Fury right now. A team who would have loved to... They've had a strong last game, as it looks like they're re-breaching the compound that XS has just won, so XS not out of it yet, as Insight picks up Marcus very quickly. Insight needs to heal up. Ronan wants to push in against Miao Yu, but Basil is in the hut still. Can potentially be a thorn in Fury's side right now. The push does look like it's still coming out. Ronan wanting to push to that back door. Basil not really doing much to sort of slow down Fury, but the res is coming up onto Marcus right now.
Fury get pushes the revive, in, but Marcus is still going to be very low, so Miao has to be the one that goes out early. They did get the flush onto Ronan thanks to Marcus, but Insight will clean up the other two. Can you believe it? 17 minutes gone. That was the first team eliminated. There's going to be many more to come over the next 2 to 3 minutes, that's for sure, especially here up north at Potato Hill. Fortunately, though, for Fury, Insight gets a kill. They get also a decent player inside of the circle, but I think MSC Theraton, from what I can see on the map, are actually going to make their way over to that position as well. Insight trying to shoot as early as he can. Daytrade, though, pushing up onto the other side here of Pachinki, here of the Potato Hill, I should say. As Norens will catch off guard Sylphie. Insight did, in fact, end up getting eliminated. And so I was sort of trying to point out from what I could see on the map. So Fury are out. 68 points for them to close off the first weekend. Defying the knockdown onto something else from the future onto Game Home.
Yeah, we have 3 teams on this northern side here really fighting for a very little piece of land to set themselves up into the next circle. Game Home, Daytrade, and From the Future right now. So they're going to be trying to clear off the other team so they can potentially use this land. But then even if you get a position here, you've still got Astra and Buram just on the edges here that are just going to constantly be a thorn in the side. God New does push up and get the knockout onto Flash. We do see Daytrade re-pushing back towards Game Home, though. Nothing to come out of that right now. It looks like Buram and Astra are fighting at the same time, so Game Home losing one player. One player left, opting to get into that UAZ and drive away, but gets taken down by Venotica.
Game Home Esports eliminated. Currently holding on to 8th position. We'll see if they actually stay in that spot by the end of this game. Lorenz and Flash eliminated. And Veronica, the last one alive for Daytrade. Oh, hello. Astra have just been wiped out by Edie with a 3K solo single-handedly. Got me out. Canaxi, they weren't even there to help out. Edie's has sent them to the stars. Gen Foss with a knockdown onto Nordra, and then stolen by Kaiser Tuner's Bot Bass, and Daytrade also will bow out pretty early. So in terms of the teams from the top 8, that's now 4 teams gone. Divine Bay, Buram, and Division X Gaming all still remain for the 4 teams inside of the top 8.
Yeah, and from what I've seen so far is you definitely don't want to get caught out on the edge by Buram. They're just so strong doing that edge play, although Canaxi does get taken out by Chibrit there, so they've sort of got to congest a little bit and take their fight against From the Future now. But we do have DXG I was right the first time. Sorry, DXG pushing into the zone right now. They're looking for any space. They might opt to fight against MSC here. That central compound that's been contested for a very long time right now.
Edie just wondering if he wants to turn things back around, and too late. Headshot from Defiant. Victim Rise taking a lot of shots at Kaiser Shooters. They rotate in to the middle of this very congested circle.
Oh my lord.
That's one that might just fall down and squash someone. You got to be careful here. Hazard warning. Bot Bass knocked down. I don't think Kaiser Tuner are going to be very long with this world. They're out. And they've left quite a mess behind as well at this broken down shack. Minute and 10 seconds till phase 6, final game of the night, and it's a doozy of one. It's a messy game right now. Of course, though, they're going to be happy that they can potentially get a few points in this game for those teams down the bottom. It's good news for the likes of Divine as well, of course. They can gain separation from the teams that bailed out. Nice little UAZ flip. Samoy just trying to hold on. It has plenty more vehicles for cover, though. And it's time for From the Future to get a move on and send it down and get involved. Chibrit knocked down by Salabi of Magic Esports. And I think they may just send it over to the Smokes, then maybe go past them. I'm actually not sure where they want to send it. Maybe MSC Theraton. That could be the location. But Yoshi Mimburi, Vanguard, quick double knockdown. Yoshi Mimburi gets them as well. As they come up, they just get swept aside by the Thailand MVP. MSC Theraton, are they back? Are they here for PCS2 APAC? It's taken them a while to get going. But Yoshi Mimburi with a quick 4K gets them up into 11th on 33 points.
Yeah, this is definitely a game that MSC can convert potentially into a win and get themselves really into contention, because DXG is just literally like 17 points ahead of them. So, you know, you have a good game here and you get top 6, you know, you're definitely in the running here. Team like Archangel, though, they need a lot more than a win and a couple of kills here to really bring it back, though. They're sitting on the bottom right now, closely by MG, who's also still in the game, but they do have a player knocked. So 2 teams here that are struggling right now, but need to start picking it up. And CJ does finish off the last player from Magic Esports.
Because of that, Bay get an extra placement point, shifts them up into 3rd place. Killer. Can't find anything there for Archangel Predator. They're off the bottom at least, though, for the Philippines team. Not dead last anymore. That'll be Magic Esports. Kamal was eliminated by Diane of Divine, and that's now 7 points gained for Magic Esports. Sorry, for Divine Esports, I should say. And speaking of gained, Battle Arena Elites have just gained a few more kills as they eliminate Division X Gaming, jumping up into 2nd place now. And that means, of course, they will, at the very least, at minimum, finish the night off in 2nd.
So there's going to be a big fight breakout now between MSC and Divine. And this will really be instrumental in either team's progression in this tournament.
5 kills for Divine Esports, looking to find a few more now here against MSC Theraton. And Yoshimamuri stand up for his team once again, like he did a few moments ago. Diane with 3 of the 5 kills for Divine. Smokes aplenty. A lot of utility going to be utilized. Bay looking to get involved as well. Try and pick off a few kills. Put the pressure onto MSC Theraton or Divine. They don't care which one way or the other. Well, that vehicle almost gets a couple double nade kill for Sophia onto Yoshimamuri and Rosetta Jr. He'll confirm them as well. JN got Vega God, and that wipes out MSC. 9 kills now for Bay. And there is just vehicle explosions left, right, and center right now here on Erangel. Divine, though, was still 4 up. No casualties for them in that fight. It wasn't really a fight for them. And really now, Edge, this is going to come down to Divine versus Bay.
Yeah, absolutely. Bay really did the heavy lifting there for Divine. They pretty much cleaned up all of MSC, and Divine just walked in and picked up the last player. So this is brilliant for Bay here. If they can support Sophia in this really aggressive position and wipe out Divine, they can really put themselves in a spot to just win. And that's not good for Sophia. He does pick up JN. He takes a lot of damage, and Diane gets that nade up onto Sophia. They also get the flush. Without the rest of the Bay team here, it's not really looking too good. They've picked up a lot of kills, but is it worth it to lose 1 player in such an instrumental circle here?
VTR, Archangel Predator, Bay, and Divine. Divine now on the verge potentially of a 3rd chicken dinner, plus a 2nd place. They also sort of rebuild the gap that they once had, Edge. Of course, we're still going to have a lot of games to be played. 2 more weekends of action. Divine, certainly not home by any means, but after their slip-up performance in match 3 tonight, they've bounced back immediately, which is really a good sign for them because you don't expect them to have many games where they get 0 points. They've already offered their opposition 1 of those games. Now immediately they respond, 7 kills into the top 3. Just going to point out, you saw that Flood died there in the blue. He did unfortunately disconnect this game, so Bay go from 3 to 2 players remaining, and means Divine can really utilize this numerical advantage from here on out in the remainder of this game. Archangel Predator 2 up, and obviously Bay also 2 up. So Divine have got the numbers advantage. We'll see if that's going to be enough for them. Obviously, it can still be tricky for Divine if the duo for Bay and the duo for Archangel Predator both take the same fight at the same time against Divine. It can still kind of then feel like a 4v4 from Divine's point of view.
Yeah, and Bay has positional advantage right now. They're the closest team currently to the center point of the zone. And it really just needs to be a team effort between Bay and Archangel Predator. They really need to come together here, but Divine's playing it well. They're clearing 1 edge right now, clearing out Bay. They know their threats. They're going to leave Archangel Predator for now. They're definitely going to come back as soon as they need to. Neverhawk gets taken down. Yeah, it's all up to Loki's. Loki's with a lot of work to do here, and he just gets picked up by Levi's. So now Divine can continue to wrap their circle and start to flush out Archangel Predator.
That's going to be Divine's third win, second of the night. They picked up the final win, actually, of the night yesterday, and they're going to pick up the final win of the night tonight as well, unless CJ and Killer want to ruin the party here for Divine Esports, who I won't go say a commanding lead, but it's going to be a very, very strong lead. Divine Esports have set the tone. They've set the pace. They are the team to beat right now for PCS2 APAC. It's their third win of the tournament already in just 8 games. 3 of 8. Not bad.
All my life I want money and power, respect my mind, no die from last time. I pray my dick get big as the Apple time, so I can fuck the world for 72 hours. Goddamn, I feel amazing. Damn, I'm in the matrix. My mind is living on cloud 9 and this line is never on